up, y'all? Welcome back to the Let's Grow podcast. I'm so excited to be back. I know it's been a while, but we are still talking all things Cultivate Conference. As promised, I wanted to bring the Activating Transformation panel back because I felt like we had to continue the conversation. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves and then we'll get right to it.
All right, hi guys. I am Kai Smith. I am the founder of Enhanced Beauty Makeup Academy, and I'm here with the Cultivate Conference crew, and we are continuing the conversation. So excited to be here.
Hi, my name.
Hi. See, that's what we do here. We just go all in. Go ahead, Lex.
Hi, y'all. My name is Alexis Britton. I am the owner of Events by Bella and Co. and Bella's Pralines and Pastries, and I'm super excited to be here to continue the conversation.
Hi, I'm Zakenya Douglas, and I'm the founder of Business Besties Brunch and the Business Besties Collective. And, I'm in a season of saying yes, and why not continue the conversation? We started a Cultivate Conference because there's nothing I like talking about more than activating your transformation.
Yes. So, their panel was called Activating Transformation because we were talking about all things community, connections, making those bold moves, taking those steps in order to build your community or better your community, whatever that may look like for you in this season. I want to know, from y'all's point of view, how was conference?
I'll go first. For me, the conference was absolutely amazing. It was my second time back, and it was so amazing to see how God grew the room. It was so amazing to see you, Lex, and how much God grew you. Um, and the conversations was absolutely amazing. I feel like I actually was transformed during the conference. The food was real good, okay? And the vibes were just unmatched. I absolutely loved it, and I look forward to the next one.
Yes, unmatched was probably the best description because it was phenomenal. Every space has its own vibe and its own culture, and you really cultivated one where this is your lane, right? And you were like, we talk about God here, and we talk about God a lot, right? Because He gets all the credit, right, and all the glory. And it was my first conference, and I had to say I was incredibly proud of you for not only stepping into your purpose but doing so wholeheartedly, like participating in the panel. Like you were a panelist on both panels and you gave all that you had to give, right? You didn't leave anything, no crumbs. And so incredibly proud of you and just was grateful to be part of the experience.
Yes, I would have to agree with the Kenya conference. For me, it was amazing. From us meeting at the beginning before conference, I was definitely grateful to have that experience with you ladies, as well as at the conference. Like the Kenya say, everything was a vibe. God first, always. Like from the decor to the speakers, like it was really a beautiful transformation. So, Lex, I am proud of you, and I'm so grateful to be back here to even just speak on the podcast about the continued conversations.
Oh my goodness. Y'all not gonna make me cry. It's so early. I just like to know from other people's perspective because this is something that I carry in my head, and of course like I cast vision with people like my accountability partners, my friends and things like that, but it's nothing like seeing that experience personified. Like it for me, I know what's supposed to be where and who's supposed to be doing what. Hopefully, I can kind of like anticipate certain connections between people, but I don't know how it's perceived. So to hear that from you all, I am just, oof, that just made my night, my week. I am good to go. Thank y'all so much for y'all words, especially from y'all. Like, that means a lot because y'all are powerhouses in yourselves. So, like, for you to say you proud of me, huh? Oh my goodness. All right. So, we're not going to get all emotional and things like that. I want to know, how have you been activating transformation since conference? So now we're in June. Conference was in April. We're about a quarter out. How have you recently been activating transformation?
I don't mind going first. So, during the time of the conference, I was sort of, nurturing my own next step, right? Like transforming the Business Besties brunch into more than just a brunch, right? More than the event, trying to provide a space for our business besties, between brunches, right? To lift and support. And so that was a huge transformation because it's not where the vision started, right? It started with let's get this event, people want networking, but I learned that people, besties, the business besties want more and they wanted more, right? So that transformation and activating it, not just thinking about it, right? It had been sort of in my spirit for like a year. And then I just started to put one foot in front of the other, one foot in front of the other. And sometimes there were things that didn't quite work out the way I wanted, but there's power in, not just pivoting, but sometimes there's power in just being still
Oh,
and just listening, refocusing, rededicating the success back to God. And then making sure that you're listening and attuned to not making it so much about self, not listening to, all the people, but is this really the next step that he has in store for me and his plan for me and for this community? And so that's really what I've been kind of honed in on as far as transformation is this community. And a little bit, for my 9 to 5, because I'm a 9 to 5 or two, is, just transforming a little bit into, being uncomfortable at, work again, right? When you get to being in, industry for like 20 plus years, you get comfortable, you get complacent. You're like, I could do this. It's like riding a bike, but accepting projects that, continue to stretch me. I think that's another part of the transformation. And I think both sides of the house just have really just helped me to develop more. It's the 9 to 5 and what I'm doing. It's more than a passion project. It's a movement. It's a business, right? I'm a small business owner. I've been practicing saying that. So that's kind of what I've been up to lately.
Lots of gems there. We'll come back to
Mm-hmm.
it.
I think for me, like the Kenya was saying, the season of stillness, I've been in a season of stillness, just regrouping and rethinking about everything that I'm doing and kind of like a small rebrand, not really too much rebranding, but just seeing, okay, God, what is it that you want me to do in this season? How do you want me to move? How do you want me to operate? Just being intentional with making sure I'm going to Him first about everything that I'm doing. And honestly, like, I feel like that's even helped me with juggling so much, being able to be at peace with different things and being at peace with all that I'm juggling with and not just all over the place. So that's how I've been activating my transformation, being still and listening.
I just want to say that you're in the right uh, community when everybody is on the same page. Because when she
Mhm.
said stillness, I'm pretty sure y'all saw my reaction because that's what God had for me. Just in a place of stillness, and this whole year for me, and the rest of my life, when I do my meditation in the morning, one of my things I say is, may I live my life with ease. Because, a lot of times we could be successful, but we could be in survival mode. And I think that
Mhm.
I've had the opportunity to be successful. And after going through a relationship transformation, all of that stuff, I didn't realize that the whole time I was in survival mode, right? And so I'm activating transformation by stillness and living my life with ease. In my business, I am going through a transformation as well. And so I've started a community, and I'm gonna be automating my makeup business, and so I can fully go into my My Cup First business, what I'm super super excited about. So that's how I'm activating transformation, just going on with the things that God has for me and doing it with ease. Okay.
Yes.
Love that.
I love this because, yes, essentially what you said, like, you're in the right place when you can see this changing of the guard or this new era that we are kind of like coming into. We are coming into a place where things are not what they used to be. That bike don't feel the
Mhm.
same, right? You like, okay, I've been doing this for a very long time, but now the world is changing, so I have to change
Yes.
too. Like I have to
Yes.
pivot, I have to make
Mhm.
adjustments, and we're
Yes.
all in the midst of that. I can say for me, I do feel like I'm kind of walking out of it more into action and like, okay, we've been doing this, we've been talking about this, it's time to actually make it happen now. But I felt this since last year. So with all of y'all were saying stillness, all of y'all were saying rebrand, all of like shifting a focus and learning to be able to do multiple things at once, like those are all things that I feel like God has also been helping me and leading me to do as well. The beginning of, well, really in December, I felt like going into this year, I kept saying, I was like, I heard it's building season. And I can see
Right.
that in each of you and how you're activating transformation. And for me, I am rebranding my boutique. I am kind of polishing and tweaking Cultivate Conference because it is something that I would like to master. I lived in hustle mode and survival mode for a very long time, so I might have been a Jane of all trades, but I was a master of none. And we're
Wow.
fixing that, right?
That's
Like I'm
powerful.
now learning to lean into God, like Lex said, and kind
Mhm.
of let Him lead me in balancing it all and learning to be
Mhm.
ambidextrous and not just do one thing, but to be able to do multiple things. So I love it. It's not crazy. I don't know why I'm acting surprised. It's God. I'm not gonna say it's crazy because that is God. So, okay, so that's how we've been activating transformation. I want to know, how has community and connections played a part in activating that transformation?
I
Um,
feel like I feel like for me, I learned a long time ago that community is key. Your network is really your net worth. Like, so I'm so big on community. I'm so big on showing up for others. Just so I won't get away from the question, because I could go all day. What was your initial question, Lex?
How has not communication, community and connections played a part in you activating this transformation?
But yeah, there we go. Just praying that God, praying to God that He puts me in the right rooms with the right people in order to, place people where they need to be placed to see my business move in this next season. Like I think it was Kai said, more so about automation, putting my business on pilot mode, like stepping out of the business is my thing. So just praying for that discernment to, just place me where he wants them and me.
Yeah, that's so good. That's so good. And for me, it's learning to pray differently, right? So to pray that part of growing and developing and building is bringing people along with you,
Yeah.
right? And recognizing when you need help, and recognizing that along with systems and processes and automation comes community, right?
Mhm.
And so praying, hey God, this is the issue that I'm having, can you put someone in my pathway that can help me with it? Because He's blessing you know other people in their gifts, and so their gifts may be the exact thing that I need, right? And so I kind of changed that a little bit, and started accepting help. That was my therapy to myself on how I was going to accept help. I started
okay.
praying, if that's your will, provide me with the resource, right?
Mhm.
And that is exactly what's happened. I meet people, I speak with people. I feel very I feel it's very important to listen and invest time in people, and not to treat conversations lightly. Like really to be present and listen to what people are saying, because sometimes you can serve them or they can serve you, and you'll miss that if you don't really connect with community. So, I kind of started, Business Besties as like networking, but I really quickly tapped into community, because I think that that's like people are thirsty for community and connection more so than what we traditionally view as like networking.
That's good.
That's really good.
Absolutely.
Connection is super important, and it has definitely
Mhm.
helped me with activating my transformation. Being connected with you ladies, for sure. Being connected with you ladies have been such a blessing in my life, like for real. Like, um, all of you guys, I love y'all so much. Lex has such a special place in my heart, and I know she'll be wondering, am I doing it good? Yes, you are, and you inspire me so much. I connected with the Kenya when we just walking through the door. When she walked through the door, I just felt a special connection to her. We had that opportunity to sit by each other, and I went to her. But before I even met her, I had booked a ticket to her event,
Mhm.
and seeing her community, seeing Lex community, seeing you guys do what you guys do. I always see Lex on social media, so connecting with you guys have been super amazing. And the Kenya, she said something so special about not taking it lightly who God placed in your path in different conversations, because everybody need destiny helpers. You know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
so when I pray, that's one of my targets. God, send my destiny helper and let me be a destiny helper for somebody else. As far as
Mhm.
community, it's definitely changed my life. I built a community on TikTok. We just hit 41,000 um, community members on TikTok, and so we're gonna be transferring that into my own personal community. And the power of community is so amazing. One of my mentees called me this morning, and she was saying how one of the our community members hopped on her live and was supporting her. So community is super important. It has definitely helped me to transform into the woman that I am today, and where God is taking me into my path and my purpose.
I
Yes,
love
that's good.
everything y'all said. Like I could go five different directions with that, but something that came to mind was I have a program called Redeem Your Time program, and it's all we do is like I'm not gonna say all because it's not all, but like it's
Mhm.
basically accountability coaching or mentorship depending on what is the need of my client. Well, two of them I would consider destiny help. I really would say all of them, honestly. But some of them I never expected they would be the person that would walk through my program or that I would be able to do life with. And I would be able to walk with them and I would feel this calling and this pulling to make sure that we are truly doing life on life mentorship instead of just like, oh, we're going to meet at a coffee shop for an hour. And it has changed my life because number one, those connections are connections that I already had and I didn't know that I was making an impact on them until
Mm.
they invested in it. And I was like, "Oh, wait. I just thought that you were doing my makeup. I just thought you were doing my lashes. I didn't know that
Okay.
this was a thing." But it's one of those things where you see God move and you see like God is placing these people in my life. It's not by coincidence that
Mhm.
we're in passing or we're in connection. We are truly a community. Like I see them interact with each other. I'm able to kind of guide them and coach them on what they want to do. A lot of it is cultivating consistency, discipline, and growing their businesses in terms of like their systems and their structure. That's a lot of what we talk about. But all of those conversations always go back to some type of form of discipleship, mentorship, life
Absolutely.
guiding. And it has just been beautiful because it was something that I did not intend on. Like, I love my boutique. I am so, like, content with boutique and events. But God gave me this burden for my program in the community and making sure that this is something that's continuous and it's not just a transaction or an event, but
Mm.
that it is continuous because these people are I don't want to say depending on me, but they do look to me for these things, and I
Yeah.
feel this calling to them. Like, that's how I know it's community because you know how you'll be like, oh, I'll do a favor for this person, or I'll help you out with this, but like, I actually feel like a burden for them. And it was something that was not on my bingo card. I was not intending on doing any type of program, community, anything like that, but it has truly been a blessing for me. So I would say that's how I've been activating transformation. Um, just going back.
You might not have been on your bingo card, but you're on their bingo card.
I love that.
Right. That's a great way to put that.
So
Hmm.
true.
That's a great way to put that. Oh, and if you're listening to this and you're interested in Redeem Your Time, we are back open for halftime. So if you purchase the program now, you'll have it between now and December. Well, from now and December. And I'll get into that later. But while we're talking about specific connections, can you speak to a time where a connection has been made and it has led to you stepping out on faith?
I'm trying to see, when did we meet, Alexis?
We met at the end of 2023 between
Because
social media and a group.
okay. Oh yeah, okay. So, a time where a connection was made and I stepped out on faith. So with meeting you in that group, um I would say this is me stepping out on faith. I know one thing, my parents, they're like, Alexis, you should be doing public speaking and things like all the things like this, right? But I'm like, y'all, come on. Like, I know I'm an extrovert because I have my business, but I'm really an introvert for real. Like, that was just never my thing. Like, I'm not even gonna tell a story. But just hearing like my parents speak that into me, and just you inviting me on for Cultivate Conference. That was my first conference I ever spoke at. And just to hear like so many people and how highly, and I'm just like, what? Like, because I'm like, I really be nervous, and I'm speaking at my second conference this weekend. So I'm just like, okay, guy, obviously this you. This is definitely not me, because if it was up to me, baby, I'm hiding behind the grass wall, because no, like, So I would say just stepping out on faith and having that encouragement to know that obviously it's something that someone needs to hear, and God has put me in that position to do just that, like just stepping into that. So yes, that's my look.
That's good. That's really good. For me, I have two ladies, and we call ourselves Ladies Who Lunch. Although we only have lunch one time, we're just real busy and active in the text messages, though. We're real active there. But we are truth tellers in that group, right? And one of them was like, she's a business bestie, and she was like, I want you to understand that when people come to your brunch, I know you have speakers and they're fantastic. She was like, but we want to hear from you. And I was like, why do you want to hear from me? I'm the host. I'm putting this together for people, right? To meet a need for people. And so I think sometimes you have people that you meet and you connect with who give you a piece of, advice, or who tell you something, like Lex, your parents telling you that maybe didn't activate in you to go speak, but it was buried in there. So that when you then heard it and was asked to speak, it was already there, and blossoming. And you did amazing, and you will do amazing Saturday. I will be there.
Thank you.
Um, because you just are authentically you.
Yeah.
And, introvert or extrovert, if it's your willingness
Yeah.
to share and be transparent and to speak into people who don't even know what they need, and you might not know what they need, right? But you are so, aligned with what God's purpose is, that's enough, right? That's enough. And so, it's just having people that will tell you the truth. I believe in that. Tell me the truth. Be kind, as opposed to being nice, right? And who just want the best for you. And when you understand that intention behind it, you can take that feedback and help it to help you grow and develop.
Awesome.
That's good. Thank you, the
For me,
king.
for sure, just like Alexis said, being connected to Lex definitely helped me to align with where I'm going. So first time speaking at the Cultivate Conference, you know what I'm saying? It was amazing for me, and then to get invited back the second time, so connecting with Lex definitely helped me with that with my speaking. So that was one thing. Thank you so much, Lex. Also, stepping out doing TikTok, right? And so I thought I was gonna get on TikTok and do makeup, but I never just do makeup. Like whenever I'm doing makeup in somebody's chair, or when somebody's in my chair and I'm doing their makeup, it's always turned into an amazing conversation that's inspiring, or I'm inspiring somebody or pouring into somebody. And the same thing happened on TikTok. And so I don't like FaceTime and stuff like that. So it was so hard for me to get on TikTok. But God kept on telling me, Kai, I need you to come from behind the chair. I need you to step out. I need you to be seen. It's time for you to be seen. You got too much of wisdom. You know what I'm saying? You're locked and loaded. And I want to tell Alexis that. Alexis, you're locked and loaded. Every time you grab that mic at the Cultivate Conference and you spoke, you're locked and you're loaded. You're full of wisdom. Even when we had the brunch, you're something special. I want to tell you that, Alexis.
Thank you, beautiful.
Something special. So I'm so excited for what God is doing in your life. But stepping out on TikTok, I was just saying I had 554 people, and I get on TikTok and I do my makeup, and it always turns into some kind of inspiring sessions. You know what I'm saying? So God always used me, and so just stepping out and just doing it, and then let God just do the rest. That has been a big blessing for me. So
That's
Yeah.
good.
And
That's so
I
good.
love that you said that God told you to get from behind that chair, because for you it's a surprise. But for us,
literally,
we always knew. We always knew. There was never a moment that I would go and sit in Kai's chair and we did not have a conversation with my eyes welling up. I probably got on her nerves because she doing my makeup and my eyes watering. Huh? but a well of wisdom is what you are. So I am not
Thank you so
surprised
much.
that
Thank
TikTok is doing its thing. I think that is a great example of God doing something for such a time as this
you.
because He knew where you would be today before you even knew. And
Facts.
he knew like it's gonna take her a little while to get it. It's gonna take her a little
Yeah.
while to realize that she's locked and loaded. But in the meantime, I'm gonna make all of this happen and work together for the good because
Mhm.
that does not surprise me. Like you
Thank
are
you.
amazing, so
Yes.
not surprised at all. But what I hear intertwined into all of y'all's answers is obedience.
Mm.
All I hear is obedience. We're all in a season of being obedient, stepping out to say like, okay, God, if you want me to do this, then you're gonna have to make it happen. And I have to trust. So you do your part, make it happen. But I do my part in trusting that you have it figured out. And all I gotta do is take that step. You gonna keep telling me where to go. So I love that. That obedience is a huge thing, and I think it's so important right now for all of us. And sometimes obedience can be hard. Like sometimes obedience is, how can I put this? Scary, frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Sometimes the math just don't be mathing, but that's why God do His own math, and He don't
Talk
even worry
about
about that.
testify.
Yes.
You like, wait, you want me to do this, but I thought we were doing this, and he be like, plot twist. Or what's the thing? Holy
Plot
airball.
twist.
Airball is the new trend. He like, yeah,
Airball.
don't worry about that.
Airball.
Okay, what would you tell someone who is struggling to be obedient?
Say just get out of your own way.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of your own way. You know, we all know the scripture: "No weapon formed against me shall prosper." But what if we are our own? What if we are the weapon?
Yep.
What if I'm the own weapon? My own weapon standing in my way. You know what I'm saying? And although obedience is hard, you know the Bible says obedience is better than sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
On the other side of obedience is always a blessing.
Yep.
Always a blessing. You know what I'm saying? And so I would just say, just get out of your own way and trust what
Yeah.
God is telling you because your soul know. You know what I'm saying? What
Mhm.
will happen is our soul know, but our ego, which is part of the flesh, our ego is the thing that stop us. You know what I'm saying? Our ego is the thing that make us not move forward. But your soul know. If something is telling you to do something, it's the little whispers that matter. You know what I'm saying? Not
Yeah.
the big obstacle
Mm-hmm.
that's in front of my face, but the little whisper that say go anyway
Yep.
or
Mhm.
don't go. Do it
Yeah.
anyway. That's what matters, and that's what we gotta listen to.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I love that. For me, it's an exercise in, you have to have faith in order to be obedient, right? Because the faith part is in my obedience is release.
Mm-hmm.
It's the release of the pressure and the fix it and the how am I gonna, because you're being obedient and then you're leaning on your faith. And I don't know how many times, you have to do the thing that you need to do. For me, it was verbalizing the, okay, God, so there's an invoice. Can't wait to see how you're going to take care of this. Right? Because, I was still and I listened and I really heard you say, do this. So, and so you have to do what you need to do. But obedience was hard for me until I leaned into my faith. And, his burden is easy, his burden is light. It's like, that release was really helped me just stay on the path of obedience, whether it's difficult or hard, or it's for my good, and
Mm-hmm.
he has a plan and a purpose.
So, like the Kenya and Kai said, yes to all the things that they said. And also, too, for me, like one thing. So, at the beginning of the month, I usually write a quote that resonates with me that I may have seen somewhere or that may have come to mind, and I just write it on my planner, right? And so, one quote that I recently wrote on my planner answers your question, which I spoke and said at conference. Delayed obedience is disobedience. So,
Mhm.
baby, that was all the tea that I needed clocked. Like, okay, guy, okay, delayed obedience is disobedience. So I'm disobe. Got it. Okay,
Mhm.
that's that.
Gotta get you
Yes.
Yeah.
together. That
Real quick,
that'll end all us.
Yes.
That'll hold. Look,
real quick.
Yes.
anytime I'm telling somebody that, I've had this conversation with every single one of my mentees recently, and I'm like, I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. Just because you waiting, you can't figure out all the options. That's you like to say you want to gather information, but in reality, you just want all the answers, and we gotta kill that flesh. So let's go put
Hmm.
that aside. That's
Yes. And
That's
also
so good.
too, I look at it as like wanting to know the just everything before God's timing is like why. I feel like if people knew, like if you knew God said, if you get these skates, you're gonna be a perfect skater, right? It's like, would you work as hard if you already knew the outcome?
That's what I'm about to say. Being tied to an outcome. That's what we got to be delivered from. Being tied to
Yeah.
the outcome. Because,
And control.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a measure of needing to be in control, control the situation. You know, that's where a lot of anxiety stems from, right? My when I was in high anxiety mode is always when I've been trying to control the situation and I felt out of control.
Wow.
Excuse me.
yep.
Sorry.
It's that over reliance of self.
Mm-hmm.
And he has been, I feel like, you know how older people would say, like, oh, I'm going to bring you to your knees if you think you too grown or something like that. Or, like, you think you are. God has been humbling me for about 2 years now with this over reliance of self because my strength became my greatest weakness in the way that I thought I
Mm.
could do bad all by myself. I actually cannot. We found out that I cannot do bad all by myself. I don't want to rely on myself. I am going to God as my father now because it has made such a
Mm-hmm.
difference for me when it comes to that control piece. Like I've always been a
Yeah.
person that didn't like change and preferred control. And he has been killing it in every single area of my life. And I do feel much more peaceful. Like the Kenya was talking about that anxiety piece. It is a totally different world when you see it through a lens of peace versus having to be anxious and having to have control and to always have to have the outcome figured out. That is an exhausting life to live. And when you just continuously surrender and you surrender quick, you like, before I even get worked up, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna get this to you. Like the
Mm-hmm.
king said something, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go. The invoice. I'm gonna just slide it over here, God. Whenever
Mm-hmm.
you're ready.
Yeah. I can't wait to tell people about it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Put a
and
little
for me,
pressure
it's
on
like
God.
the self part, like, so is really good because, you know, sometimes we buy our own commercial, right? So, you know, people are like, oh my God, you know, you got that position. I was like, yeah, and I worked hard and I, got the degree and, you know, I attended all the meetings and all the things. And so practicing gratefulness has really helped me to stop making it about me because instead I say, God has been good. You know, he allowed me to do XYZ. He made space for me to be able to grow and develop. He held my hand through this really tough, situation so that I came out better on the other end and the other side. And so now that's why I can give you this advice, right? So that helps me too by diminishing self is it didn't come from me, it came from him and just practicing gratitude.
Yes.
So, what before y'all both move on, because both of y'all said two things I want to point out. When Kenya said, the whole, what did you just say about the mindset shift, the different
Oh,
perspective?
yeah.
That's what I immediately went to, right? Like showing gratitude has made a big
Mm-hmm.
difference. And when you look at things from a point of view of not I have to do it, but I get to do it. Like God woke me up this morning and I get to go do this today. I get to go serve, make a difference in the
Yes.
world, make this world a better place. Like you really just start to move differently. And then to what Lex said, when you start to really look at God as your father and not just
Mm,
some person or thing that can do something for you or like what is this, like having that relationship with him to where you're looking at him as your father, like your spiritual father, just knowing he gonna take care of you. That's made a huge difference for me too. Just like the Kenya said, like nothing is happening to me, everything is happening for me and for my greater good.
yes.
So when you start to know those things and stay anchored and rooted in what he says and his promises, like you just move differently. It's a different type of peace.
It is.
I'm so glad we talking about this because you just slid me right on into my mini commercial. We're gonna go ahead and call this a mini commercial for Bosses Breaking Bread. So we are hosting Bosses Breaking Bread on July 12th in New Orleans. This year we are talking about doing business God's way. We are talking about making God your CEO, not just of your business, but also of your life. And we're talking about all of those things because when you shift the perspective of your position, the entire game changes. And it has been something that's been inside of me for a long time. And I feel like now I want to share it with the entrepreneurs and the bosses around me that feel like, okay, I need to do this. Like, I need to really and truly surrender my business to God because what I've been doing is not working. Or what I've been doing has only brought me this far, and I'm ready
Yes.
to be obedient. I'm ready to step into purpose. I'm ready to do all that God has placed in me to do. And I'm ready to do it with systems. I'm ready to do it with biblical principles from His Word. And I'm ready to do it with Him. So if any of that sounds like something you are interested in, you can head to bossesblock.com and grab your ticket for Bosses Breaking Bread this July on July 12th at 1 p.m. in New Orleans, Louisiana. All right.
Oh, look at my girl sounding like a real YouTuber there. I'm like, what?
Okay, yes.
In there. I just made the perfect entrance into
I love
that.
Yes,
Now that
I
we got
love
that out the
that.
way, what's going on in y'all's world? What can we expect? What can we follow? Um, Anything coming up? Kai, you gotta drop the TikTok. They gotta follow you.
Yes, definitely follow me on TikTok. My TikTok is I am Kai Smith. That's I am KYI. You see my name on the screen. I hope it be on the screen when it's playback. I am KYI Smith. Definitely follow me on TikTok. You could expect the second season of My Cup First podcast. I'm super excited about the podcast. Excited about the podcast is a part of the brand. So My Cup First Nation is the brand. The podcast is one avenue. We dropping merch. So we got jewelry. We got I walk and do walking inspiration in the morning. So we got some apparel. We got we got a lot of things coming down the pipe. So get ready for the second season of My Cup First podcast and My Cup First Nation. I'm also gonna be having community coaching and courses. So excited about that. Also excited about continuing to build my makeup brand and automating that. You know what I'm saying? And getting to this bag. Okay, let's not
Okay.
forget the bag. Okay, because I love a bag. All right.
Yes, yes, yes. I love that. I love that. So, for me, it's we transitioned and rebranded the Business Besties brunch into Business Besties Collective. The collective membership is open. We're in a free preview mode right now, and so that's until brunch on July 27th, which is our fourth anniversary. So we're super excited for brunch and what's coming on July 27th. We have some amazing speakers lined up who I just know there's a bestie in, every room that needs to hear from these ladies. And so, other than that, we have a workshop, and it's work WERKSHOP
Yes.
with Kenyatta Sparks. And the workshop is on Saturday, June 21st, and it's a bring your laptop. And Kenyatta is going to get you guys straight with your certification for the city and for the state. He is the expert at it. And so we are super excited to bring this. It's free for the community. And it's just our way of making sure that everyone, can get their bag, right? Through certification. And so we have some other in between brunch workshops and collaborations that are in the works. We have a girls' night out with Leah, Faces by Leah, over at her studio over on Highland Road, and it's going to be a night of, good times, and she's going to do a couple of demos, and we're just going to have some light bites and just have kind of like a girls' night out. So you can find all of our events on Business Besties Collective on Instagram.
And I guess for me, like I said, just I'm in my rebrand era. Okay. I've been booked with events and treats and all the things of that, but just rebranding to get systems in place and come see Mr. Kenyatta for that nice because I love him. Like he is amazing at what he does.
Yes.
So yes.
And so
Um
generous, so
yes,
generous with his
yes.
time and knowledge.
So I guess for me, are they looking or booking? They could come book with Bella. Okay. Or Bella's Pralines and Pastries. Come get me to get your treats together. So yeah.
Love all of it. Love all of it. We are all business besties, so we know that
Yes.
we gonna see each other in July. um, Thank y'all.
No, thank you.
Thanks for
Thank
Thank
you
having
for
us.
you.
being true and listening, and you led by your heart that said, you know what, I want to bring these ladies back. And I'm just grateful that I was able to, and that I, said yes, because, you know, I don't know if I've spent a better, however long we've been on this, this week. Like, this has been the highlight because, you
Wow.
ladies are so amazing. And, it's not just about the pouring out. Sometimes it's for the pouring in. And so thank you all for pouring in this evening.
Yes,
Beautiful.
same. Thank you, Lex. Thank you for the opportunity once again, just to do what obviously God has called me to that I've been trying to hide from. But thank you for being obedient. So thank you for your yes.
The word is out now, Lex. So your spotlight is
No,
on.
I
So you
feel
never
so
know. You might be
seen.
pulled on that business bestie panel. You never know.
I'll be ready. I'll be prepared. I feel so seen. I'd be
Yes.
like, hey. I said thank you already, and I truly mean that from the bottom of my heart because this is not just a panel thing. This is a community thing. I am connected to each of you ladies in a way that is just it doesn't even compare to the 40 minutes that we've been sitting here. I feel like I'm forever indebted to y'all for all that y'all have done and shown me and just leading by example for the things that you do, the things that you're getting ready to do. I do want to leave you with this. Don't forget that it is building season. So wherever you are and whatever you're doing, whether it's 9 to 5, business, community program, events, whatever it is, do not forget that you are building something for God. It is building season, but you are building something that will outlive you. And
Thanks.
it will
Yeah.
outlive your legacy. And people are going to be blessed just to be in your path. Y'all are amazing at leading by example, and I don't think y'all know how many people y'all touch, but just know the girls love y'all, and the men too. Because guess what, y'all? We back with another commercial. Cultivate Conference 2026. We are inviting the men to the table.
I love it.
So
Yeah, me
Love
too.
it.
that means that y'all need to get in y'all husband, brother, friend, husband's ear today. Get in his ear today. Start telling him prepare for March. He could have his fit on. Look, okay. The theme
Love it.
is forging the future. I
Mm.
keep hearing
Oh,
the
okay.
word fortitude, but I won't give too much away. But I just want y'all in. Wow. Okay, God. All right. So I will say, get ready. I'm
We
excited.
ready.
Okay, the cliffhanger.
Right.
Wait. I
Listen,
can't see. The cliffhanger. Oh my
Right.
God. Okay.
it became too much. I'm a visionary, y'all. I start seeing stuff.
Right.
And it's like all crossed and all that. But no, seriously, March 22nd, 2026, we are aiming for this date. If God say the same, this will be our date. I'm working on all the things and casting vision behind the scenes. But like I said, get in their ear right now so that in March they are ready. Because we cannot do this on our own. We cannot do this by ourselves. It takes both of us. It takes men and women for us to forge the future.
Love
So
that.
keep that in mind. I will leave y'all alone with that. No more commercials, no more ads. But this will be the opening to the second part of season 1 of Let's Grow podcast. So if you have listened this far, I want you to just go ahead on and subscribe because you're family now. And stay tuned because I have another group episode coming up and then a couple of solo episodes. We're going to do a series all about doing business with God as we prepare for Bosses Breaking Bread. So stay tuned, do all the things, like, share, subscribe, comment, and let us know what stuck out to you or what resonated to you. And don't forget to grow. So thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.